It is 1894. British farming has been in a state of depression for nearly 20 years. Work on the land is scarce, and what there is very badly paid. The average wage for a farm labourer now is 13 shillings a week, when he really needs 21 shillings a week to live. In mid-Suffolk, a group of men from Mendlesham Green decided to improve their lot and asked to rent 52 acres of land.
The petitioners who reside on Mendlesham Green and all hold allotments of from 3/4 to 1 acre ask to be allowed to hire 52 acres, 47.5 arable and 4.5 pasture. The following is a schedule of the petitioners and of the amount of land which they wish to take up. Acre, 10 acres.
And help me to sing. I'll sing in the praise of you all. For if we don't labour, how can there be bread? I will sing and make merry with all. It's off to young brethren, to brethren born. It's off to young brethren born. One was a shepherd and a tender of sheep, and the other a planter of corn.
The above are all farm labourers and ask for arable land. Frederick Sirrett, a carrier, wishes for the Long Pytle, a 4-acre meadow. Herbert Brundish asks for a small pytle of 1/2 acre which adjoins his cottage, to which there is no garden. C.W. Arborn, a shopkeeper, has made an application to the trustees for Little Jack's, a meadow of rather more than 2 acres adjoining his premises. The petitioners give as their principal reason for wishing to hold land that there is not at present sufficient employment for the labourers resident in the parish, from 30 to 40 men having been out of work in the winter. It is also stated that the cottages on Mendlesham Green are badly off for gardens, and some of the men hope to get a bit of ground in immediate proximity to their houses.
It's a very open landscape. Just going to overtake the cyclists. Now if we turn left, go down towards Mendlesham Green itself.
Do we think this may be in the edge of the green then?
I think so, because you're coming up and then it does a sharp left bend just by Mr. Brundish's cottage, which you can just see with the chimney onto the road. It's a tiny little house.
You know, this is the 1/2 acre that he wanted. Mr. Brundish wanted to go with his
cottage.
His
Of
cottage.
course, you can see why, because his house is right on the edge of it, isn't it?
This would have been allotment gardens.
So all of the modern houses have actually been built on the allotment garden.
Yeah.
But if you peek behind that house, you can see the old farmstead.
Having found no traces on the landscape, we began to speculate about the lives of these men. So I decided to go and talk to my friend, Dolly Bloomfield, about the life of her father, who was born around this time.
Well, I'm Dolly Bloomfield. My proper name is Dorothy. It was 1914-18 war, wasn't it? And he was 19 when he went in there.
So he must have been about 1895 when he was born.
He left school at 12. He worked on the land straight away. And he went stone picking and also to crow scaring.
Come all you jolly ploughmen of courage stout and bold, that labour all the winter in stormy winds and cold, to clothe the fields with plenty, your farmyards to renew, to crown them with contentment. Behold the painful plough.
As I tell you, with my grandmother, she married my grandfather and she had this little girl before she got married. And in them days, they weren't nowhere to have a child, they were put in a workhouse. They hadn't nowhere to live and they hadn't got nothing to eat, had they? You see what I'm saying? And nobody didn't want anybody who was pregnant. Now, like on grandmother's side, she had a big family. Her husband died in his early 40s. She had 5 children to bring up, and they were so hard up and for food and that. And I've known her say to me, when she used to be cleaning the fire out, she'd even chew on the coal, you know, the shingle of the coal, for something to chew. And I thought, you think about it. He liked the countryside because I know when he used to work in the fields, if he'd seen, we call them ladyfingers, which are a primrose with a stem with the little tiny flowers. Well, we call them like the polyanthus, but they have got a special name. But he used to come back and say he'd found a ladyfinger. He always kept check of when the swallows flew in. You know, the spring?
Mm-hmm.
And he would say, oh, I've seen swallows today, Dolly, what is the date? We'd have a date to go down. And if he'd found a bird's nest, he used to tell us. Now he said, don't go near it till that gets... She was sitting, because once they sit, you know, hard sitting, they won't fly off. Same with water hens. We used to have a pool with a spoon on the end. My brother and I used to go around getting the eggs out of the nests, but we used to have to leave one so the bird went back to the nest again. Same with the pheasants. We used to have the pheasants eggs if we found them, because they were ever so rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We lived off the land as much as you could do.
Edgar Clover, who died August the 24th, 1930, aged 69 years. He petitioned for 2 acres in 1894. So we know that he was a Baptist. Now, is it too much to suggest that petitioners
We're all
like that would be
Baptists.
Baptists rather than Church of England? There's a Jonathan Ager. Look, and here's a Jonathan Ager. And they were all farm labourers asking for arable land. And here they are living to their 70s.
Yeah.
I wonder if they got arable land.
Behold the wealthy merchant who trades in foreign seas, and brings both gold and treasures to those that live at ease. With finest silks and spices and fruits and dainties too, they are brought from the Indies by virtue of the plough.
They used to have what they called charity then. They would give it out. The poor would get something from that to help to go. But mother, her feet were so bad when she got older, because she had to wear shoes that weren't big enough for her, and her toes were crossed. You know what I'm saying? They were absolutely poor. But then they all did quite well when they got away and grew up, because Mum went up to London.